3, 2, 1.
I guess start with 5. And 5, 4. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. This is the Vetted Podcast. I'm Steve Hermann.
I'm Kale Flaspohler.
I'm Lindo Zwane.
Oh my gosh, after that energy introduction, you didn't realize we were recording and I'm serious? I mean, I'm serious today.
I can tell you look serious today.
Pumped up.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You walked in yelling.
I did.
Yeah.
In a positive, not like,
Not negatively.
yeah.
It was because you had your AirPods in and they were on noise canceling. You couldn't hear yourself.
That's right.
That's what it was.
That's right. So, yeah, no, exactly. Hey, no, actually, I'm real pumped about us coming off this last week in the Veterinary Pro Partners Team Veterinary Networking event. And, Gail, you and Sydney did an amazing job putting that together. For those listeners that don't know about that, it is a chance to bring in the veterinary students from the University of Missouri to meet with clients of ours and, other privately owned practices. We had how many practices?
In the upper 30s.
Yeah, I mean, you had 40 RSVP.
Yeah.
If you had a few things happen. We had ABMA Life there. Dr. Rebecca Stinson was there. We had Bank of America, had Nate Hewer. That's how you pronounce his
That's
last
how
name.
you say it?
Yeah, he says one syllable, but it's like kind of
Hewer.
Nate Hewer with Bank of America Practice Solutions. He's who took over for Chris Howard. And SABMA was there, BBMA was there, Dr. Cindy Cravens from the University of Missouri was there, Dr. Tim Snyder from the University of Missouri, the Associate Dean of Student Affairs was there, and Tom O'Shaughnessy, another ABMA person was there who's a COO and ARP 401k part. So we had people from Carolinas, Ohio, Kentucky, Arkansas, Chicago, Kansas. I mean, all over the place that came to the event to be there to represent that event. We have network, have fun doing that. We feed everybody. We have snow cones, We have, of course, drinks to go along with it, and it's at the beautiful Columbia Farmers Market, the University of Missouri Health Pavilion, the award-winning farmers market in the United States pavilion. It's a beautiful setting, and to cap it off the night, we gave away $52,000 in scholarships. So 52 students got a $1,000 scholarship that night. And that's huge, and that came from all the practices that were there. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. There's sponsors help defray the cost of it. You all bust your butt to make sure it runs well. And then at the end of the night, the veterinary practice owners, veterinary staff, who's a representative for those veterinary practices, goes up there, and they get to draw a name of the attendees and win. And that is just so much fun to see, that anticipation to see, am I going to get that $1,000? There's a pretty good chance. Had 220, 230.
So, yeah, we had our highest attending ever. We beat last year by over 50 student attendees.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, it's continued to grow at that pace.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to really plan for next year.
Absolutely.
Bring 300 or something like that. I don't know, but after giving away that much money from the super generous clinics, I think we're going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
That level.
No, you're going to continue to grow. Every year you come off it going, the bar's already high of what you did. Mm-hmm. But each year you all figure out the way to continue to raise that bar and bring an exceptional experience to the students. And it's just a lot of fun. So, hey, thanks to you and Sydney, the rest of the team, everybody that was there to help out. Had the FFA, Future Farmers
That
America,
was the biggest. That was the best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for them. They busted their butts and set the whole thing up, structurally in under an hour.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
It's good to see those farm kids that get up early anyways, right?
I'm partial to that. I think they work hard.
They have to work hard. They have no choice.
That's the way you're raised. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. So it's fun to see them get everything set up, and maybe next year we can get them to tear down because
absolutely.
If I don't have to push the two-wheeler around with a bunch of chairs on it, I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah. Wonderful event. Bunch of money raised. $52,000 is going to be going to the University of Missouri to defray some students' tuitions, which is that's a great day. Great day. Exciting.
It's a good number. I'm curious to see what we can do next year.
Yeah, well,
The bar's at 52.
Bar's at 52 now, so
Yeah.
we'll have to exceed that, which will be wonderful. The goal is, when can we get to 100,000?
Yeah.
When can we? That's almost like, hey, you show up and you get a scholarship. We're gonna have to definitely redo that because it'll be like
Yeah.
a scholarship for everybody.
What a problem to have.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I hope we have that problem because we will figure out how to pull it off.
Absolutely.
So we just need to have the problem first.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone's interested in learning more about that, it's probably still on the website at propartnersteam.com.
It's not going to leave the website. We're going to start planning the next one this week, probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the information's up there. Learn about it if you'd like to be a part of it, veterinary practice-wise or sponsorship-wise. If you're in the veterinary community supporting private practices, we'd be happy to include you in as a sponsor. Chance to get in front of a lot of students, a lot of private practice owners, and just network, which is
and
huge.
talk about marketing your clinic, which is going to be the topic today.
Yes.
What a phenomenal marketing tool.
Yes.
To put you in front of 250 students. It's an opportunity that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so to market yourself with other peers, to network with many different people, it in and of itself is a great marketing opportunity.
It is, and that's what marketing is. Not just looking for clients.
It's not a billboard.
It's looking for.
It's not a billboard. It's not a newspaper ad.
No.
It's in the vet space specifically. It's not any of those things generally.
Yeah, the biggest marketing is going to be your next doctor or veterinary technician or the next staff member that you need. So helps a lot of veterinarians get out of the practice and work on their skills of communication with students too. It's good for them, real good for them. So great job, fun event, and we've got planning starting already for 2025. First Saturday of September next year. What do you know what the day is?
Yeah, because I already checked, and there it's 5th or 6th. It's something like that. Yeah,
still early.
Yeah,
still early in the month.
Early
Which is
in the
good. Great weather. Gosh, it was 70s.
Oh, beautiful! It couldn't have been more beautiful. That was probably the best weather we've ever had.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing, and we had a home football game to compete with.
Yeah,
and we still got a lot of students out.
Thank God we had to pay them to come play us. It wasn't a super good.
Talking about Buffalo playing
if
Mizzou.
it had been Oklahoma, we
Yeah.
might have had a hard time.
Yeah, and absolutely. That's why it's so good to have it early in the season because we're going to be playing.
We're gonna be playing good teams later.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, I thought it'd be important to jump to some news. AVMA had an article out. There's this bill out there, and it's about. Says AVMA News. This is updated on September 9th. It came out August 29th. It says Colorado ballot measure calls for non-veterinarians to diagnose, do surgery. And essentially every association in the veterinary space, from the Colorado Veterinary Medical Association to the American Veterinary Medical Association, is against this. The people behind the bill measure are saying, well, there's not enough access to veterinarians. They're trying to find a way to have animals taken care of. And it's a lot like non-cruelty. It sounds like other things that trying to help people out. So I'm not here to knock the people trying to do the bill measure, right? Just trying to bring in a different perspective to it to say what is going on out there is a fact that the number of pets to people has gone up. The number of veterinarians in the space, their needs have changed versus from it was from the 80s and 90s. People are doing more things with their animals for health. Dentals. You look at 80s and 90s. Who's doing a dental on a dog? Now it's like you do dentals on a dog. You need a TPLO, something with the hips, knees, orthopedics, those kinds of things. People are paying for that to be done. Dog's got a tumor, take it out. All those things now that people, care about their animals. They're loved. It's a loved one. So I think there's this group there trying to do the right thing, but it seems to me like they didn't go to the associations and say, what are you doing right now to alleviate this? Mm-hmm. And you talked about it, Kale. It was how do you get the veterinary technician trained up to be able to do some of the things you see in human medicine with like a nurse practitioner? Mm-hmm. That's kind of the gap.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what they want to see. But the problem is there's no training for that in the veterinary space. The people with the bill, it's like they point out in here, AVMA is like, there's no accredited institution out there with that kind of deal. Plus, you're talking about state laws and federal laws that you have to change across the way. So it's it's interesting that we just go ahead and put a ballot measure out there and say we, not us. Somebody, people should put a ballot measure out there without doing their homework.
This article also states, and I want to quote, inadequate, mostly online training. And so, if you're, I don't know how you could learn surgery online.
No.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's hands-on.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna learn through textbook and lecture and
I can
class,
watch a video,
right? But you're gonna have to go practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
So
somebody watching me.
yeah, and what's interesting too is that Tracy Gray Walker, the AVMA Trust CEO, friend of ours, she does a great job for the AVMA Trust. She was talking about the claims, professional liability insurance trust, and could you even insure that person? That's if that bill passes and they put that person in there, could you, number one, insure that person? Number two, I guess if everybody's against them, who's going to hire that person?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to sell them? You can't sell them medications. They're not a doctor to do surgery. There's so many hurdles to cross. It's like, let's slow down and look at the root cause of what's going on versus that's the problem, right? Everybody's just like, let's just fix this. I'm like, let's have a sit down conversation and think logically through this instead of just going, we need more people. Well, duh.
Yeah,
No
of course.
kidding. Yeah, we do, but let's go backwards into it and see what's going on. So to give people perspective out there, there's in the high 30s number of accredited colleges out there for veterinary medicine, colleges of veterinary medicine, accredited by the American Veterinary Medical Association. And, there's in the mid 3,000 or so veterinarians graduating each year. To put a program in place is tough. Arkansas is working on it, but to put a program in place to graduate more veterinarians is tough because you already have a shortage of veterinarians. You need veterinarians to train veterinarians. So it's a timely process. Mm-hmm. It's interestingly enough, though, as we've seen and data showing, is that clinic visits are actually kind of down this year. There's people in 2021, 22 received government stimulus, and they had extra money in their pockets. So they're able to do some things with their animals, supposed to be around them more during COVID. And I think people forget about that, like that, what caused the ability to do those things back then. Because everybody today is like, well, I have less money. Well, yeah, you have less money because the government stimulus. Mm-hmm. Government's not handing out $6,000, $10,000, $12,000 to families anymore. You're still making this. You're probably making more than you were in your paycheck today, but you just don't have the government stimulus to put into things like this. So it's so interesting how things balance themselves out. It's like we swing to one side and then we freak out.
Yep.
And then we go over here and go, we freak out because we overcorrected. And so that gets back to that. Just take a breath, look at the root cause of things. Don't make rash decisions and take your time. That's what I get out of this. The Colorado Veterinary Medical Association is against this. And they're the ones lobbying for veterinarians' well-being, helping them out to be successful. AVMA is. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's on the ballot, so it'll be interesting to see. Anything more on that?
No, I think it's good. I think it's time to move to Chewy.
Chewy, yeah, our friends at Chewy, huh?
So it's been an interesting couple. It's probably been a month now since we started seeing clients post about this, but
we've been talking about it for years.
We've been talking about it for a long time, but people are actually starting to post about it. And we've had a few clients now come out and say that they're no longer supporting Chewy.
Yeah.
And which is a huge deal. And it looks like you've got the text pulled up. I was trying to find it.
Yeah. No, I do. It's Chewy. Oh, again, the root cause. It's this drive to the bottom of like I want to be the cheapest and fastest. We're talking medicine here. I do want affordable medicine. I don't want the cheapest. It's like, how do you make medicine affordable and accessible? And Chewy, trying to drive prices down. When you drive prices down, you got to cut corners. You got to cut costs somewhere. And so Chewy's having a lot of issues with how they dispense medicine. They're dispensing it incorrectly. And so, I mean, holy cow. Like, incorrect medicine dispensing, like, that's horrible.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. The lives, I mean, if it's human medicine, I mean, you'd be done.
Yeah, you'd be over.
It'd be done. And so to look at these and go, I mean, yeah, they want to bug the veterinarian to fill the prescription. And the veterinarian's going, I can't trust you even fill it right. Why would I give that to you? You're trying to automate it, make it cheap. I've got it here anyways. And go, now, what are you really saving money-wise? I mean, you're going to get that in and the trust is the same thing. And then also the doctor's going to, then the client you have is going to assume the doctor screwed up, not Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what a mess. Yeah, I look at this and just go, we've been talking about Chewy for a long time because people are worried about competing on prices in medicine, and there's not a huge margin anyways at the veterinarian. I mean, essentially the medication, veterinary medicine and human medicine, there's correlations to the same kinds of stuff they're using. And in veterinary medicine, it's usually like a tenth of the price of what you're going to pay for the same thing on the human side. So it's already a competitive price. You're not paying these astronomical numbers. Chewy comes in, tries to change the system, and it looks like it might bite him in the butt.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Say that? Is that right?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out over the next several months.
It will
as more and more messages from clients come in that say, "Hey, I think I'm going to take this stance."
Yeah.
It's definitely going to. Well, I think we're going to see a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So
what the veterinarian does have a obligation to do is if I'm their client and they have the veterinary client patient relationship, the VCPR, then I have to give you the written prescription. So it's not that you can't go to Chewy and still get it filled. It's just that the practice is going to make sure to know that, hey, if he takes the Chewy, it's your prescription. You can take it wherever you want, Walmart. But here's your potential issues. Mm-hmm. And they want to make sure they clear out their liability and even perception. Because at the end of the day, the perception is, I got the prescription from Chewy. I'm going to think the doctor screwed up, not Chewy, if I get the wrong medicine. And that's a big, I mean, you can't mess around with medicine. So shame on Chewy. That's horrible. They should have best practices, and when they are trying to put, that's a profit first company. Let's get rich. Let's make this thing that's going to be, game changing for who. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it's going to bite them in the butt because it's medicine, it's animals, and people are pretty smart at the end of the day, and you can't sacrifice your animal's health to save $10. Mm-hmm. You can't.
No, absolutely not.
So, and then when we talk about Colorado and the shortage of veterinarians or whatever that is, well, the more you pull out of revenue-wise out of a practice, there's less money to put back in the veterinary industry because Chewy sure is, you saw where they're going to try to open a hospital.
Yeah, I was. It was actually a really interesting article. Sounds like the beginning of this year they're going to start opening a hospital, and they came out and said, I'll find the quote here.
Uh-oh.
So we partnered with hundreds of veterinarians and customers to design an in-practice and post-visit experience, which we will believe will be unlike anything in the market and appreciated by both communities. So that leads me to believe, based on the way they operate their current business, their core business, is that going to be just a fully automated vet clinic or mostly automated veterinary clinic?
Well, I don't want to try to do like a robot noise.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it
practice.
Leads me to believe.
Is that a horrible robot noise? Anybody?
It's so it's just interesting to see, if they're already not successfully doing their core business activities, what makes you think you can operate a clinic?
Man, you're really raising your liability. Then you can cut corners to have the cheapest. I mean, your whole thing is about delivering cheap. And now you're going to say I want to deliver cheap medicine? Okay.
We'll see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well,
is that a dodgeball quote? Sorry.
Is that?
Joke, yeah. We'll see how it plays out. Interesting strategy.
Good luck with that.
Good. We'll see how it plays out.
See how it plays out for you. I like that. So, well, hey, let's get into the marketing. It is always marketing matters, right? But I think confusion is what is marketing? And we talk about the root of things. I think what tying into that Colorado deal and the root of things is that, marketing isn't social media. It's not an ad in the newspaper. It's not, flyers, mailers. Marketing is about you and your practice. What separates you? And you can never do the rest of those things unless you have the core figured out, and your culture figured out. So as we go through that with our clients this month, marketing, because again, if client, we're seeing revenue's doing good still. Revenue's doing good, but client visits flat.
Yeah,
maybe down a little bit, and so some people are like, they get freaked out about idle time. And it's like, actually, it's okay. You before you were wanting idle time during COVID, when you were crazy, and now that you have idle time, you're worried about it. So it's like, let's rethink this. But when they come to us again, it's getting into, people think about marketing just thinking about client counts and sales. How do I drive those two things? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's basically.
Yeah,
right?
I think the number one thing when I think of marketing is it comes back to how are we scheduling people? How frequently are they coming in the building? And who's lapsed?
Your current
clients. Getting your current clients to come back is probably the most important piece of marketing that you can do.
Yes.
And I'm a big advocate of forward booking. Some people aren't, but I would much rather, because of my own experiences, like when I leave, I don't care if I'll see you in a year.
Right.
Let's book that. Let's put that on the calendar, because then when you send me an email that says, hey, or a phone call or a text or whatever that is, you got a meeting or you got an appointment next month, confirm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, oh, crap, yeah, I do. I got to go to that.
Yeah.
Instead of schedule one, I'm not going to schedule one. You're going to have to email me like 3 or 4 times, to get me to schedule one. And so I'm a big proponent of forward booking. I think that's a huge part that some people do. And I think if folks focused on it a little bit harder, and it comes down to the process, right? Do you have the process? Do you have the people in place to be able to successfully pull that off? But the folks that do that, I think generally are successful because they have a full book that's been booked out for a long time.
Yeah.
It would be nice, it'd be comforting for me to see, not everybody's going to keep it, but if you look out, at 12 months from now and my August is already 40% full.
Right.
Right. Assuming that, we get that many people to reschedule.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
And so you can do that by just having people schedule it. The dentist does it. Mm-hmm. You do it at the dentist.
Yeah, you do.
Like everybody does it at the dentist.
They're booked 6 months out.
Yeah, they are.
You call a dentist today, they're going to get you in 6 months unless there's a cancellation.
Exactly. And so, I think it's focusing on your current people. Who's lapsed? Mm-hmm. How do we get those people back? How do we get them before they lapse? Mm-hmm. There's lots of softwares out there, systems that will tell you, like, hey, these people haven't been seen in 12 months. Here's your list.
Yeah.
And just call them. Mm-hmm. And call them 2 or 3 times.
Most software systems, you can run a report.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to. That's the problem, too, is everybody's got these. Everybody's looking for, like, the simple solution that's automated that'll take care of this for me. The problem is that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You still have to be involved with that system. And most practice management systems run the report. Who hasn't been seen in 12 months? Who hasn't been seen in 10 months? Just run the report. Mm-hmm. And have if you got idle time, you get on the phone as a doctor every once in a while. Call somebody. I think that's great. Have communication with them. Say, hey, I want to say I appreciate you as a client, and I notice your exams, your yearly exams already come up. You want to schedule that today? Why not? See how that works. Because as a business owner, as a veterinarian, if you're going to help that person at the front desk effectively do that, the best way to do it. So I'm not afraid to do it either. I'll call. Mm-hmm. I'll make those phone calls. So I like what you're saying is because people are worried about client count comes to the door, revenue, right? Average client transaction, and those two things together make your top line. But the question is, are you doing everything inside your business right before you even go, oh, do I need to pay X dollars a month for a social media expert or whatever that advertising method you're looking at is to go internally and say, am I doing those things?
Yeah, because there's no reason to go get more people if we've got plenty of people that are already coming through the door.
Yeah. Don't neglect your current family.
Don't neglect your current family because they're already coming in.
Right.
And maybe there are instances where you are short, and so you could fill those in, but it's a hell of a lot easier to fill in 5 appointments than it is 15
Yes.
or 20
With your existing
clients.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you can look at compliance on things. You know, I mean, or look at any one of the things that is good medicine. I mean, yeah, how many people are getting dentals out of your book of business? Are people getting 12 months of preventatives? All those things that matter and work together to look at. And I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can see that's happening in your book of business to take care of that. Now, if you do have that and you're going, well, I'm checking those things off, or rechecks even. You know, am I doing a good job on the rechecks? I think that's important. But the other thing marketing is too is in the exam room. Are you providing the best medicine option? Or are you providing what you think is the affordable option for the client? That's a big issue. And so marketing is the whole team's confidence. The people at the front desk believe in best medicine too, that they're going to say, yeah, I'm going to do that full blood panel annually to understand what's going on with my dog. I'm going to schedule the dental. I'm going to do all these things that are best medicine to make that happen. So marketing is, you don't have to go out.
You don't have to practice. Yeah, you don't have to go outside the practice.
You got to look at that and say, well, how am I doing there? Am I getting those things done? Because again, when clients come to you, you're as the doctor, you're the expert. They're not looking for you to give them a wish-washy choices. They're looking to say, here's what we're going to do. And if by chance it's going to happen, the client goes, I can't afford that. Then you look at, all right, here's some other options we could potentially look at. But don't come out with that option. Don't go, oh, we can do this $200 deal or we can do this $100 deal. Well, person's going to go, oh, give me the $100 deal. The doctor said you can do it for $100. That's what they hear. You come out and go, no, this is best medicine. And you've got the confidence to do it. You know that. You're a doctor. You've been doing it for years, or you're trained. You know, all the things that are there to give you the confidence to make that happen. So look internally.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the other thing that I think is marketing that people don't think about, everything's marketing, but
that's right.
You know,
that's right.
Going back several podcasts, when I walk in the front door, what's it look like? What's it feel like?
Right.
That's marketing.
Yes.
And then what is my interaction with the first person that I talk to? Because, you know, if I go in there and I don't have a good experience with the person that I talk to,
right?
How's your day going? Oh, it's going terrible. Like, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm sorry that your day is going terrible, but like, you need to have really good, confident people up front that even if it is a shit show behind the scenes, you want them to put up a good front up front to make sure that no one feels it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think that having a good staff that mans the front of the hospital is arguably some of the most important for marketing.
Yes.
Because they're the ones that are controlling the first and the last experience.
Well, let's face it. The animals sense emotions in the room. Some animals are just anxious regardless. But emotions in the room, too. It's that calm demeanor to bring that animal in, that everybody's calm, feeling good to come into the exam room to do all those things that are going to set you up for success, set your animal up for success, all those things. So don't be afraid of recommending best medicine. And if best medicine is doing all the right things, which is a higher bill. That's best medicine, though. That's what's best for the longevity of the animal, the quality of life, all those things that matter. Ounce of prevention today is worth a pound of cure. And you can sell, hey, we're trying to do that. These things should give you the best chance of not having these bigger issues down the road. They're going to cost a lot. That's really going to put someone in a pinch to be like, oh, crap, I can't afford that. I feel really bad because it's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That's when you get in that big issue.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, look internally. Marketing, I mean, let's face it. The best marketing is doing what we just said, taking care of business, because you're going to get good Google reviews. And new clients come from asking around, where do you take your animal? Going online and just searching on Google Maps, veterinary practices. So you better have your Google profile looking good. You better have your reviews looking good because people are looking there. You better have a good looking website. But to go online and think you can go worry about the social stuff and all that,
It's not going to solve your problems.
it's not going to solve your problems. You don't have the time to do that. And someone's going to come in and sell you the social stuff. It's going to make you feel good. That's what all it does. It's kind of a fugazi. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Okay. It is because are you doing everything right inside? And even when you're on social media, what are you going to deliver? I've never seen a veterinary ad that's like,
I've not seen a veterinary ad that evoked any emotion in me, but like some things that I do see, and I'm not on TikTok, but people bring me these things. Like we have several clients that are really active on TikTok.
yeah,
And their videos are funny.
it's
And
funny.
their videos are,
Yeah.
they actually are like, that looks like they're having a good time at work.
Yeah.
And so, if you're using it for that, that's not a bad
They have their own process.
They have their own process
They
for
have
it.
their own process, and that works.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that I see that our clients are doing, they're just posting their own stuff, posting funny, posting some updates about, hey, we're going to be closed or so and so's happening. The public announcements more is what that is for versus, paying someone some bunch of money when you got a lot of other things to figure out inside first. So, man, the best marketing I've always thought is this is just the statistics say the best marketing is word of mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
Word of mouth is the best marketing, the best chance to get someone in and do those things. So our recommendation today, Kale, I'd say, well, you said, how's your book of business? Is everybody current on exams? Read when you have someone in the exam room. Are you recommending best medicine? Are you, when you have a recheck, coming in, or not recheck, coming in, actually, make sure you have rechecks. You're getting a good percentage of people in, because a lot of rechecks don't happen. Make sure that happens. Heard a real good thing about, hey, if you do an expanded blood panel and you don't have those results right away, the good thing is to call them the next day, the doctor yourself, to call up and say, hey, Kale, saw Milo today. Blood came back and looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to seeing you in 2 months at your dental or whatever that is.
Yep.
And then be done. But when the doctor calls you with that kind of message, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So simple things like that can make a huge difference. Kale, you said, yeah, let's keep the front end clean. Service desk people happy. That's a huge part. And so, yeah, we're not spending ad dollars outside of that. We're looking inside. Only thing you need to have online, yeah, you do need a Facebook page, Instagram page. Keep it simple. You don't need to spend a bunch of money. Have some announcements what's going on every once in a while just to keep a presence. And then, again, people are using Google. They are going on Google when they move into your town and saying veterinary practice. Brings up Google Map, and they're going to go, which one's closer to me, and does it have decent reviews? That's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. And if you don't show up on that first page, I'm probably not coming.
And if you don't have a website,
Yeah.
or your website looks,
You have no choice but have a website.
You
If
have
you don't
money.
have a website, you
gotta
are
spend the money on it.
You are shooting yourself in the foot.
I mean, you can get a website for a couple grand.
Yeah, or less.
It doesn't need to be this elaborate website. It just needs to say, hey, we're a veterinary practice. We have real people. We've been in business for X years.
You need to have your picture on it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, you do that. Keep it simple. I mean, our website's simple.
Our website's really simple.
We use Canva.
Mm-hmm.
We, Lauren, she designed it. She put it up there. It's easy to do because people just want to see. They're going to spend 20 seconds on your website just to be like, okay, they look real. I'll call them up.
Yeah.
So those are the key things. Save your money. Do the internal look into your own practice and just practice good medicine. That'll bring in raving fans for you. You practice good medicine. You have good bedside manner. Not bedside. You know what I'm saying. You have good exam room. Etiquette, and build that rapport with people. You'll be great. What more you add to this? Any other silver?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've always said if you capitalize on your current book of business, that'll probably solve most of your blanks in the schedule. Then you'll fill in with same days stuff.
It will.
So,
one thing I could add is it's about building a brand in your community, which means getting out and seeing people. Going to a community event, a Rotary event, or whatever, Chamber of Commerce event. fundraising golf tournament or whatever that is. Those are the fun things to do too. Find something like that to participate in a couple times a year. Pick a couple events like that in your community. Get out there, be seen in your community.
Yep. When you're spending money on advertising, spend it on those things.
Yes.
Don't spend it on ads.
Absolutely.
Or campaign. Don't spend it on advertising in the general sense.
Don't be in the yellow pages.
Absolutely don't be in the yellow pages.
So that'll get you taken care of. Well, I tell you what, marketing, it's not complicated. I want everyone to remember it's not complicated, and don't let anybody try to sell you something that seems like it's a silver bullet. There's nothing they can do for you if you don't have those things we talked about that you're doing right.
Best marketing's free.
Yeah, it is. It's right there. You can do it. So, hey, great talk about marketing today. Looking forward to talking about marketing with our clients this month as we go through that. And, hey, coming off a great veterinary networking event, our 4th annual, gave away $52,000. That was phenomenal. Had 230 students. I mean, we had probably close to 100 practice representatives that were there, and industry affiliates, AVMA, Bank of America. Hey, I got to mention John Hooker, J. Hooker Construction. He wasn't able to be there, but they sponsor it. They build wonderful hospitals, do great remodels. We're so happy with them. Check them out. And I look forward to our next podcast. We're gonna talk about who's going to be the guest for our next podcast. And so like us on all social media, like us on YouTube, like us on all the podcast platforms. And again, if you have anything that you think we need to talk about or give us feedback, you're like, I disagree with that. I love that. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn and grow together and build a vibrant community for the private practice owner. So thank you so much. I'm Steve Hermann.
Kale Flaspohler.
Lindo Zwane.
He's falling asleep over there.
He is.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace and blessings.